over. What you cooking, man?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Iron Minds, day 11 of the Project 61 Day Step Challenge and Veterans Day. Happy Tuesday, everybody. What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Happy Tuesday.
Good morning, gentlemen. Fantastic.
We got Nick on site in Raleigh, North Carolina. Beautiful view there out the window. Look at that in the hotel. Nice. Like a Lombard down in Austin, Texas in the cold. Nick, what are you doing in Raleigh?
Well, I forgot to set my alarm this morning, by the way, and it went off. I mean, it didn't went off. I woke up at exactly 5:30, which was 15 minutes later than I was going to wake up. And I was like, well, I guess God wants me to run today. So, no, I had a speaking gig yesterday, speaking to a group of elite real estate professionals who have a kind of a quarterly training seminar. And so they brought me up yesterday to drop some knowledge.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Very cool.
Yeah,
that is great to hear, dude.
You know, I'll tell you, the industry concerns are very similar to the conversations we hear. You know, if you take out certain industry-specific words, they're always concerned about, you know, the market, the economy, the uncertainty, the next thing, the next crisis, the next thing we don't know. And so even though it's a completely different animal, I was able to relate to a lot of what they go through in their business.
Yeah, real estate's one of those telling indicators of the market in general. You know, what's happening with housing and all that movement. So I can understand that. As a real estate professional myself, licensed holder, that is, I hear a few of the same things as well. So glad you got to go speak with them. That's cool.
Yeah, it's very awesome. You know, then I get to run on location, and when we're done here, I wrap up, head to the airport, and I'll have another gig in Tampa tomorrow. So big week.
Nice. Nick's on tour, everybody. Nick is on tour. Michael Lombard, thank you for your service, my friend. Veterans Day. What does this mean to you as you're out there walking this morning?
Well, dude, I'm going to kick in the door of my local Applebee's and demand to clear out the kitchen. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's November 11th, a really fascinating day because we're not the only ones in the world who do something. You know, it started out as Remembrance Day for the veterans of the First World War, and then it's in the U.S. We've wrapped it into basically all veterans. So it's a perfect day. It's a perfect time of year too, I think, for Veterans Day. What's specifically important is, especially what it means to me now, is like I made that Applebee's joke. But when it comes to Veterans Day, and I thought about posting a video about this today, but I don't really know how to word it. But I wrote a Substack last year about like mental health, the veteran community, and like I think I'm gonna like either repost or say something again today because a lot of what the mental health issues for military veterans is like for I believe that those mental health issues, like rest of societies, are directly linked to really they're purpose and community driven, as opposed to the the mental health issues. I don't believe that they're like massively correlated to being engaged in combat or war or from some of the stuff from overseas. I think it's coming back from it and not having purpose or community and identity afterwards. So a day like Veterans Day is a day for me to kind of remind the public of that it's not necessarily the actions of war that have led to this mental health crisis, because we saw that, because I think gentlemen in World War II saw plenty of action, especially in the Pacific, and returned home nominally different in a lot of ways. They came home 2 communities, 2 cities, 2 jobs as well, like to like a burgeoning economy. So, but yeah, no, glad to be here. It's that time of year where a lot of people do start to talk again. They start reaching out. Hey, man, happy Marine Corps birthday, happy Veterans Day. But just like starting anything, if you depending on what you take away from Veterans Day, what are you going to do the next day and the next day after that?
250 years for the Marine Corps. I thought that was pretty cool. 250th birthday this year for Marine Corps, for our country. Pretty wild. Very small in the grand scheme of things, but significant date nonetheless. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
That
absolutely,
sure.
dude. Marine Corps birthday, yeah, it's the second holiday. It is kind of funny having Marine Corps birthday the day before Veterans Day. It's almost like having a birthday on December, on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, well, my daughter, December 26th, same thing. Yeah, Christmas, birthday. Yeah, exactly. In fact, my daughter's never had her birthday party on her birthday in 16 years.
Really?
Never had it. No, because it just doesn't work out for everybody, because a lot of people still have family gatherings or they're out of town or whatever. And she's not the kind of kid like wants, 15, 20 kids to come over. She wants 4 to come over. And even then, it's always been impossible to schedule a birthday party the day after Christmas. It just doesn't work. So this year she's having it on the 27th, so 2 days after. But yeah, it's just like that. It's just bam, bam, right back to back in that regard.
I'm just saying, parents should consider that at the end of March. Maybe they take a few days off. Like, hey, you look good tonight, but 9 months from now, this kid's gonna have to celebrate a birthday right around Christmas. I think we can wait.
We weren't thinking that, Nick. I don't know. I can't. The logic was not happening.
My wife's birthday is January 15th, so I've got Christmas, but then she's Greek and celebrates her name day on January 7th, and then a week later is her birthday. So it's like, all right, you need a third job here.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, it's also day 3, I guess, of the Women in Trucking Accelerate Conference down in Dallas, Texas, which I love that conference. Actually, one of my favorite conferences that I've been to in the past. I haven't been the past 2 years. Last year was doing the musical with Naomi, and this year just decided not to travel much at all. I haven't gone to any conferences this year. But one of my favorites, and actually Reed Lausalo actually posted about how it's one of his favorites as well, and that the difference for me is, being majority women, the women seem a little more serious about like going to sessions and having conversations and not partying and that kind of thing. And so it's a really good conference. And I saw that Mark Manera and Jeremy Reimer had like 50 attendees join them yesterday for a step challenge.
That's awesome.
For the 61-day step challenge. So yeah, pretty cool event. So hello to everybody out there from Dallas who's at the Women in Trucking Accelerate Conference. Such a great conference. It's a good one.
I saw Mark's LinkedIn post yesterday, and yeah, it fired me up. And it's and to your point, Trey, you're right. Whenever I kind of have certain, on LinkedIn, there's generalized support, but mainly like when I'm talking all things driver health and community, women seem very open to it, where men seem to love to make the excuses on certain things or try to, I don't know, disparage like me or my message or something. Like there's always some sort of catch. Like I feel as though
it's criminal.
Men sometimes can be a little bit more jaded, where women are kind of in direct support of kind of the Project 61 mission and overall message and getting people moving. I'm not sure what that is, but it was awesome to see.
Yeah.
If I can,
that is.
I was gonna segue. If I can, I mentioned the Spartan race from this weekend. So it was in Orlando, Florida. It was a Spartan sprint, and it was a very special event because it was the first time they ever did a para world championship. And so, Spartan has different categories. They have elite and age group for competitive athletes, and then they have open for most everyone else, which I think is like 98% of the racers. But despite, what some of the videos look like, and it might seem intimidating and daunting, it's an extraordinarily inclusive sport. And there's a tremendous amount of adaptive athletes who actually take to the course. And there are certain groups. One one that I'm like, I call myself a friend of the family. They used to be called More Hearts and Scars. They're now called Dealers of Hope. And so they actually take like adaptive athletes through the course. Sometimes this is pulling and pushing wheelchairs. They're bringing ropes and stuff so they can bring athletes up and over like the overhead obstacles. I mean, the athletes go through the entire course, but a lot of these groups are also there was a lot of military veterans out there, and there always are. And so when Mike was talking about community and stuff, you know, I think a lot of the people who find their way here find that in that Spartan community. But I will tell you, I had a good day on Saturday, but it was nothing compared to like my second lap when I had the opportunity to help one of those groups and actually help one of the guys over the net, and like just seeing, you know, here I am fired up about my own thing for like 2 seconds, and then I go out for another lap and I see a lot of adaptive athletes on the course. And if you need a lesson in mental toughness and inspiration, just see them. You know what? It's overcoming adversity through adversity. And there really is nothing more. You know, we want to talk about the people with excuses. Just watch these guys. You know, it always comes at the moment you need it most, right? When you're like feeling tired or feeling down about yourself. And all of a sudden you're like, man, that guy's awesome, and I need to get it together.
Dude, we have some friends who, unfortunately, the wife is going through some cancer issues, some brain cancer issues. It's really sad. But they have a daughter who's 14, and she was born without the bottom portion of her arm and hand. So her arm and hand's right here on one side. And man, they've never made excuses for her. They never let her make excuses. That girl has learned how to do everything that every other kid knows how to do and never complains, always a smile on her face. And man, when you see that, when you see somebody who is missing, you know, a pretty important part of the body and yet still just keeps going. She's participated in Special Olympics. She's a runner, but she also plays basketball. Like, you know, and she's good. Like she's not a problem at all to the team. She can dribble, pass, even shoot, just like all the other kids with only, you know, half an arm. It's absolutely incredible. It's so inspirational to see that. And yeah, when you think about like excuses you might make or you might feel bad, boy, that puts an end to it really quickly. Like
when you're tired in like mile 6 or something, or even you're doing a long race and you're telling yourself, man, I don't want to walk the next 2 miles. And you look and there is a dude with no legs and he is actually like just army crawling, just upper torso, the exact
just
same
wants
course.
It so bad.
He's not on a special course. It's on the same exact course that you are. You're like, dude, shut up. Like, things take for granted are so amazing.
Yeah. A lot to be said about that, man. That's for sure. That is for sure. All right, well, gentlemen, it's getting colder out there. Michael, go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say there, you know, something kind of came full circle with what we talk a lot about on the show. I was at a wedding over the weekend, and, you know, at the reception, they did this, you know, it's very common. They do it, you know, they bring out all the married couples, and then after, you know, and then the couples that stay out on the dance floor, they stay out based off of who's married the longest. Like, hey, everybody with 5 years, you know, you could stay. You know, they eliminate to find the oldest married couple there, and then the DJ asks them like what the secret is. And there's a married couple out there who's in there. They've been married 65 years. They're in their 80s, and I didn't see the grandfather do it, but the woman was 84 years old, and who I believe was presumably her great granddaughter, like came running out. She must have been, you know, 5-ish years old, and 84-year-old woman bent down and picked this girl up. And kind of swung her a little bit and put her back down, and I immediately looked right at my wife. I went right to her. I said, "That's what it's all about, right there." That's like that moment right there. An 84-year-old woman, you know, married 65 years, which is crazy to think about. Meaning the day she got married, if somebody was born the day she got married, they're now collecting Social Security. And you think about that, and she is on a dance floor dancing, and then picking up her, you know, great granddaughter, picking her up and not out of breath, not winded or anything, getting done. I said, when I think about goal, I'm like, that's the mission. That's the mission right there. That's exactly what I'm trying to push and what I'm trying to talk about. Not aesthetics, not not marathons, not XYZ. It's that, because who in the back of your mind, like, who's going to say, yeah, nah, screw that.
Right.
I don't want to do that. Like,
Right.
are you kidding? To love my family? I don't want to be able. I would rather be out of breath and winded. Nobody's saying that.
That's actually the goal that I think about more than anything is what's it going to be like my grandkids? Am I going to be able to get on the floor and crawl around and pick them up? 84, picking up a 5-year-old. 5-year-old is like not a small child. They're usually like, what, 30, 40 pounds?
Yeah.
To pick that up, that's pretty impressive. That's a noteworthy goal, especially as I get older. Like that's tremendous. That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
So I told someone last night that for me, Goggins likes to say that you need to get to a point when you don't need a race on the calendar. And screw him because I do. But a lot of the reason I race is because it keeps me focused on the activity, on the actual fitness activity, and gives me keeps me committed. And I do like working on self-improvement, but the goal isn't to be a faster racer. The goal is just to be healthy, happy, joyous, active, and free. And this is the mechanism of which I get there. Because tell you what, I'm broken already in a lot of places at 46. So I need to iron up this body over the next 40 years. So I'm not going to have any grandkids, but at least I can, defend myself from 5-year-olds when that happens.
Bingo.
Facts. Those are noteworthy goals, especially the older that we get. Like, playing basketball is going to be limited, but man, like picking up grandkids and playing with them, or play catch. Just things like that when the kids are younger. It's that's going to be a lot of fun. That's awesome.
I don't know how limited it has to be, man. I mean, you're being active, doing the right things now. And again, on that course was my good friend Paula Chance. He's like 85 years old, does more of these than I do. And as a matter of fact, he wasn't even a participant. He was there to help other people this time.
Nice.
Not to be helped, but to help.
Michael, I'm curious, Michael. So you're at this wedding. Do you remember the advice that this oldest, couple or longest married couple gave about the secret to a successful marriage? I had to be funny. Was it something funny?
Yeah, I mean, it was the husband who answered first, and I'm trying to think of his exact words because it was like short and simple, but basically, talking about how like if this person is your best friend, you got to treat them like it. It's a partnership. Relationships are like when it comes to relationships, and we use this term a lot, I guess, in business or with anything, but you have to build relationships with people. Like if two separate companies are working together, you are building a relationship, and you do that and you're doing that same thing with who you're married to. Like you two have to build a relationship together. It is a partnership, so to speak, that you're doing. Like one person doesn't need the other, and vice versa. It has everything to do with working together and growing together as one, because you're no longer separate anymore. It was kind of around those, circumvented around that. Like this is somebody you have to work together with, not work against. They're not, it's not this for that. It's not quid pro quo sort of thing.
I love listening to old people give advice, because sometimes it's just like short and to the point. Sometimes they just don't even care about being politically correct. They just say it as it is. I love that, man. I absolutely love that.
I saw an old joke once of an old couple who had been married for like 60-something years. And they're looking at each other with the lovey-dovey eyes, like a couple of teenagers, like they just met for the first time. And so the guy gets the old guy alone, and he asks me, he's like, dude, you look so in love. How do you do it? And he goes, cheat often, cheat a lot. It was funny in her first time. You had to see it live.
One of those had to be there moments.
Yeah, it was fun.
Man.
Because you didn't expect him to say it. You're like, oh, you just don't love your partner. He's like, cheat a lot.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
I'll tell you what, switching gears for a minute, I was thinking about getting older and getting better in age. And not that this guy's old, but it's still quite impressive. And that is, I saw a picture recently of Brent Orsuga with his daughter going hiking. That dude is cut now.
Yeah.
Like that dude is like really serious. He's gotten serious on his fitness journey. I think he's done 75 hard twice in 2025, and was really inspired by that. So Brent Orsuga, thanks for being a great example. Yeah, like his arms are cut. He's got, the definitive, triangle in his arm with the biceps and the triceps. And, he obviously does a lot of hiking and running.
I
His
remember
legs look,
meeting him
super trim.
like a decade or so ago, and like you said, it's not like he's older. I don't think he was ever. I don't ever remember seeing him like out of shape or anything, but he was average maybe. And yeah, like he definitely has shown us how
He's
it's
taking
done.
it to another level. Yeah,
Yeah.
taking it to another level. That's for sure.
I
He's in
love
his
the
late
Friday
40s.
hikes and
You know?
stuff that he's doing.
Yeah, he's like in his late 40s, so it's not like he's old, but life catches up with you. I think in 40s probably more than or faster than any other decade of your life. The 40s seems like your kids are typically in school and have a lot of activities, and life gets really, really hectic. You're trying to keep things going, trying to build at that point in your career. It's really easy to let the physical aspect slip. Man, that guy is not. He is not at all. So kudos to him on that. That's pretty impressive. Lombard, you know a thing or two about turning things around a little bit later in life after maybe not feeling so great.
Absolutely.
Which is good. So, yeah, I'm inspired, man. I'm inspired by Mr. Renner Suga. That's for sure.
Yeah, I would love to get out there and join him for one of those Friday rucks sometime. Also, like, yeah, I mean, speaker life, right? What I need to do is just pick all the cities of all the people I want to go hang out with, and then go apply for speaking gigs out there. So I'll come out to Missouri. I'll walk with you and Mark.
That's right. See, it's easy. It's an easy thing to do. It's not that hard. Well, I'm getting my construction fix on, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I love to do some remodeling work and been doing some of that. But also, I think I told you guys our friends. One of our dear friends just got diagnosed with brain cancer that they're still trying to figure out. They're doing some chemo and radiation right now, but like it's not good. And so not only am I doing a little bit of construction for myself, but did a little bit for them. So I got a chance to do some work in their garage. I was able to build a couple of railings for them. So that was the first thing I did last week. So I got a couple of railings here that I got to build for them. And so when she does get to come home, she has a place, a way to get in with a little bit of help. So that was really fun. But then here's my current project. Oh, that was weird. My current project is this. Okay, so you guys see the light subfloor over there, the lighter shaded subfloor over there? That used to be an open area in our house. And this wall was there, obviously, that I've taken the drywall down. And I'm currently building, you can kind of see I built the walls and the subfloor in our entry there. So I built that up, and I'm currently building this right there. That's where it is. I'm building this into a bathroom. And I can't wait to do that. We got family coming over in May for graduation. We're going to need more people in the house. And there was always supposed to be a bathroom here, and there wasn't. So I'm building a bathroom. I'm going to extend this wall out a little bit so it's a little bit bigger. So that's what I've been working on. That's the project I've been focused on right now and getting that ready to go. So getting back into the construction mode and construction shape. And I got to tell you, when you do construction, you get in pretty good shape. You lift a lot of things. You do a lot of cardio up and down steps. This is a second floor bathroom, so I'm going to be going up and down with tile, up and down with drywall, up and down with whatever else that we're going to be using up there. So that's been a lot of fun. So good times getting back into construction. And it was my wife's 48th birthday, and got to go celebrate just last week. So it's a good way to finish up the year. Nick, I'll tell you what. It's an interesting story because I grew up in apartments. My whole life as a kid, grew up in apartments from basically age 8 until I moved in with my mom at age 17. Even then, she lived in a duplex. But when you live in apartments, you don't get to work on anything. If something breaks, you got to call people. They don't want you touching it. They don't want you working on it. So I didn't do any construction or any home remodeling my entire life growing up. And then my wife and I, when we got married, year after we were married, we had a home built, a new home. And here in Missouri, as you know, we have basements. And so we had this full basement unfinished. And I said, man, I'm going to finish this basement myself. I'm going to learn how to do it. So I just started going to people I knew in my church and my community, just finding out who knew how to, frame walls, and who knew how to do drywall and mud tape, and who knew how to do plumbing and electric. And I just had people come over and teach me while they helped me do it, but they taught me everything. And then I just got so into it. And, you do anything long enough, you get pretty good at it. And that was really how it all started for me, Nick, I just wanted to learn. And so I had people come over and help me do it, but taught me how to do it while they did it. And I've never lost those skills to do it. They've gotten a little bit better, and it's been a lot of fun. So now, like, ripping down drywall and taking down some walls and putting some new ones up just doesn't scare me anymore. But it did at first. It was kind of crazy at first, but that's how it started. You start doing it, see what happens,
if I successfully hang something on the wall without tearing half of the wall down, I expect high fives from my wife when she gets home.
That's right. That's successful. That's right. Well,
My
hey,
dad built
it's baby
houses.
steps.
I
Did you really?
yeah, my dad used to do construction for a long time.
Did you ever go on site with them? Like, was that ever a part of it growing up? Did you get burnt out? What was that
I
like?
worked with him. He used to drag me out and work with him, but like
Yeah, you
I only
did.
worked with him on minor tasks. You know, he would show me how to do something, but I never got good at it. So and also this is a long time ago, man, back when, candidly, I didn't like physical activity like that. It was like
Yeah.
I was avoiding it. And so for me, I always wanted to do something else. But that's also where I found out I was afraid of heights. I was helping him put a roof on. And I built the staging. So I knew what a shoddy job it was. And then I had to bring all the shingles up. And I'm not like 5-6 feet off the ground, and I start panicking.
You're like,
and I'm like, oh,
you're like, this
wow.
isn't gonna hold. This isn't gonna hold. So was your dad a general contractor? Was he a roofer? What did he do?
I don't know the right words. I'm going to say general contractor, but I mean, he did.
Like he did a bunch of everything. He built houses.
Yeah.
Like yeah. He managed the teams that came in and did different jobs, pouring the foundation, building the subfloor, framing. He would kind of manage all that.
No, I'm guessing he's the guy who got brought in for the parts that he did most of the.
Okay, so he had a couple of specialties he did. Okay, cool.
Now I do remember one thing that's kind of cool is I went to my K through 8 school is in Edgartown. It was the Edgartown School on Martha's Vineyard, and when they were building an additional wing to that or something, I don't know what. He was one of the guys who did it, and so I remember he brought me in, and I helped him like hammer a railing into a wall or something like that, and that's all still there. So that's kind of cool. I'm like, my dad helped build the school that I went to. That's still there, and I at least put one nail in the wall that didn't have to come out.
Yeah, that is cool. I think for home builders, especially, it's got to be a cool thing to say, like I built that neighborhood or I helped build those houses, and I think that's a pretty cool thing. So that would have been a fun career for me doing that. I would have enjoyed the manual labor and doing that. That would have been a blast. My stepdad was a finish carpenter. I mean, he liked to trim work and things like that. And he taught me a lot about finished carpentry inside, making things really look good. It's amazing how good you can make things look if you're a good finished carpenter. How many things you can cover over.
So much
if you know what you're doing. Yeah, for sure. That is for sure. Michael Lombard, beautiful sunrise this morning in Austin there.
Oh, yeah. It's that time of year. I can't lie. Like this November time frame. Yeah, when the clocks go back, the sunrises and sunsets are very good. Like that, I can't even lie.
Dude, Mark and I were out.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mark and I were out hiking earlier this week. I think we were hiking last week on Tuesday we were out hiking, and man, the sunrise was just glorious. Little clouds in the sky to make those little pink and orange hues in the sky. Oh, so amazing, dude.
Got to get outside. The best part about getting up early is you get to see some of the just most majestic sunrises that normally you're either sleeping or getting ready for work, or you just don't think about it. You just expect the sun to rise. Yeah.
And this cold front that we just got here in the Midwest, it's a good reminder that even though it's cold, you still got to bundle up and get outside, get the sunshine in your face, breathe that fresh air. Maybe go later in the day, take a lunch walk instead of maybe a morning walk if it's too cold where you are. But make sure you're still getting outside and breathing that fresh air and getting that sunlight on your skin. So important in the winter, man. It's so important in the winter, especially as the days get shorter. And days are going to get shorter until December 21st. So we got 6 more weeks until they start lengthening up again. So make sure you're getting out there in the sunshine, taking a lunch walk, start work early, finish work late, take some time in the middle of the day to get outside and enjoy the sunshine. That's important to do, man. So important.
Thank you guys. This time of year is crucial to, what is there, 60 days left, 50 something days left, like get a 50 something day head start between now and January, between when you're quote unquote motivated. Build the system now. Like you can start building a system right now to get yourself locked in, whether it's food or movement. I suggest starting with movement because it comes at no cost. You can do it for free right now. You could start building that system. And that system could be writing down on your calendar a certain time of day, every day, 15 minutes, we're going to do this. 20 minutes, we're going to do this. Build that system.
And we got 50 days until the end of the year. And think about this. Only 2 or 3 of those days are going to be days where you might eat more than you should. Like only 2 or 3 of those days, maybe a holiday party, Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving. It's only a couple of days out of the 50 in which, you're probably going to eat a little bit more than you should and be a little less mobile. The other 45, 46, 47 days, you can do something. So don't let that be an excuse that it's, the holidays, and so therefore the next 2 months are off. It's only a couple of days that are off, and the rest of them you can really build a foundation, like you said, and get a good head start heading into 2026. It's a good mindset to have, Michael Lombard. I love that reminder. That is a great reminder.
Bingo.
And one other part for that too is set a goal, commit to something. As a matter of fact, Mike, I'm calling it out right now. As soon as I get paid for the gig that I did yesterday, which should be by the end of the week, I'm signing up for Jacksonville, Ironman Jacksonville, doing that monthly plan there. So I would expect to see a screenshot that says registered by this time next week. And you know what?
When is Ironman Jacksonville? When is that?
May 16th, I think.
May 16th, baby.
And
are you doing it, Lombard?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Join us.
Oh man,
It's an endeavor.
That'd be a big goal. I've never done a sprint triathlon. You have to jump in.
Neither have I until a month ago.
Just jump into the deep end, baby.
By the way, the commitment is happening right now. The registration will happen next week, but training will start tomorrow.
Love it, dude. Love it. That's awesome. All right, fellas. Well, hey, happy Veterans Day out there to everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week. As we talk about all the time, find your tribe, find your group. Get your people who are going to push you and make you better. It's iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. We'll see you guys right back here next Tuesday. Peace out, everybody. Let's go. See ya.